Buckle your seatbelts and hold tight, because this week we're boosting back at full speed to 1992. Hello and welcome to Alpha Leaf Gaming, where today we're looking back at Super Mario Kart, a game that many people don't even know exists. It's a mystery to this day how this game could go under so many people's radar, and it's a shame because it's a really good game too. Super Mario Kart's origins go back to the late 80s and early 90s, where Nintendo was testing to see what kind of new games it can make with the increased power of their next console, the Super Famicom, or Super Nintendo if you live outside of Japan. The Super Nintendo's new Mode 7 capabilities gave it the ability to have characters and objects move in semi-3D environments, or zoom in and out from the background like Bowser in Super Mario World. This allowed game developers to make entirely new genres of games that would have never been possible with earlier hardware. And a few games like F-Zero and Pilot Wings were entirely built from this mechanic. However, Nintendo announced a new type of Mario game where instead of platforming and jumping on Goombas, Mario and friends would compete in races. And on August 27th, 1992, gamers in Japan and soon around the world finally got to play the game, Super Mario Kart. If you've played any other Mario Kart game, you have a pretty good idea what this game's like, but there are a few things that are a little off from the rest of the franchise. Item blocks are tiles, you race 5 laps instead of 3, and jumping is actually useful. But the biggest of these differences is that controlling your kart is a bit harder than you'd expect. It takes quite a bit of practice to learn how to make turns without going off-road or running into walls. The best way I found out how to turn is to slow down a slight bit when you're about to make one, then turn and get back up to speed again. It can be pretty frustrating to control, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. Next, we have the characters: Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser, Yoshi, Toad, Koopa, and Donkey Kong Jr., who never really appeared in any more Mario games after this. For tracks, Super Mario Kart has 20 of them, although many of them use the exact same themes and music, so it feels more like 6. Heck, they even share the exact same name, just with a different number after it, so it's pretty hard to tell them apart. But the stages are still pretty fun, and I'll try to add some new obstacle to intensify the race. And speaking of intense, Mario Kart GP in this game is ridiculously hard. At least in my opinion. I think it's a good time to mention now that I really suck at this game. And it might not be as hard as I make it out to be, so you better keep that in mind. But I'll sum up for you the reason for increased difficulty in one word: rivals! In Mario Kart GP, each character has another character as a rival, like Toad and Peach, or Bowser and Mario, as well as a secondary rival. In the races, your rivals are a lot smarter than the rest of the computer players, and never place below second. At least in the other Mario Karts, the AI is a whole lot more balanced between the CPUs, but not at all in this game. Your rivals hate you, and will do anything to destroy you, while the other CPUs are complete idiots that you will be laps ahead of before the race is over. I also hate how it's the exact same character over and over again for each character. It makes you so infuriated when you want to stick to your main character, but just keep seeing the same sprite that go ahead of you over and over again. Plus, they have an almost unlimited supply of special items like mini mushrooms and banana peels that you can't use at all. That's not fair. It's so frustrating. But other than that, everything else about Mario Kart GP is fine. Just win the most races and you win the tournament. Next, there's Match Mode, which you need 2 players to play. In Match Mode, you and a friend just race each other in the tracks of your choice, which is pretty fun. And there isn't much to say other than that, you just race, race, race. Then there's Time Trial Mode, where you drive around a course by yourself to see how fast you can complete it. Out of all the modes though, this is my favorite. I just find it so relaxing to just drive without having to worry about winning a race, and you can just take your time. I really don't even care about my records, and just enjoy it. And lastly, we have Battle Mode, which you also need 2 players to play. In this mode, you and every player have free balloons on your cart, and your goal is to knock off the other player's balloons by doing things like shooting shells or throwing banana peels at them. You get these by going around a level to find item tiles, and you pass over them until you get the item you want, and then blammo! Each time you get hit, you lose a balloon, and when you lose all 3, it's game over. I don't really enjoy this mode that much. Probably because I keep hitting myself. But it's still a neat addition to have. So overall, Super Mario Kart is a great game, and its flaws are forgivable for it being the first game in its franchise. And while it's nowhere near my favorite Mario Kart, I still had a fun time looking back at the game that started it all. I find it disappointing that most people I know haven't even heard of this game, let alone play it. I hope through making this video, I got at least a few more people to try this game, and if not, oh well, I at least have an excuse to do this. I'm going to test to see if it's possible to drive off a slope and fly above an intersection. What? Why are you guys looking at me like that? What, do you think Nintendo would actually put something in their games that would be impossible to reenact in real life? Don't be ridiculous. 3, 2, 1, go! Yippee! Haha. What did I tell you guys? Of course it's possible. You just have to... Wait, a duck? Hello there, thank you so much for watching this video. This video was pretty hard to make, to be honest. It's not very long, too, so, yeah. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. If you have any ideas for future videos, be sure to put that in the comment section below. If you don't like this video, dislike it. I like critical feedback. But anyway, this has been Josh from Alpha Leaf Gaming.